Okay, so lesson 2. Lesson 1 was about solving linear equations and linear quadratic systems graphically. Today we'll use algebra to solve this, and then there will be a few questions that are real life examples that we'll work on as well. Okay, so let's do linear quadratic systems. So this is kind of 10C review in which you're given two linear equations and you need to use substitution or elimination to solve your systems. Elimination is just adding or subtracting. Substitution is isolating y and then solving for x, okay? In Math 20-1, we are using the same things, but we have quadratic equations in this. So we have quadratic and linear. That means just remember these things. When you multiply on both sides of the equation doesn't change. But if you only multiply on the right side or the left side, the equation will change. Adding or subtracting on both sides, it wouldn't change the solution too. So let's review a little bit. When you have x plus 3y is equal to 9 and 4x minus y is equal to 10, using substitution, I just need to eliminate or isolate my x, okay? Isolate my y. If I look at the first equation, isolating y will be a little trickier because it's 3y I'll have to divide. But the second equation, it's easy if I just add y on both sides and subtract 10 on both sides. Y minus y is y, 10 minus 10 is 0. Y minus y is 0. So you have 4x minus 10 is equal to y. So I'm going to substitute that in my first equation. So it will be x plus 3 times 4x minus 10, which is my y value, is equal to 9. Okay? Now I'll distribute it. So it'll be 12x minus 30 and everything else will be the same. I'll move like terms to the one side. So add 30 over here. Add x plus 12x, which will give me 13x. Minus 30 plus 30 is 0. 30 plus 9 is 39. Divide 13 because I want to isolate my x. And I get x is equal to 3, right? Now to figure out my y value, I can either put it in my first equation or second equation, or this equation even, the third one. So let's just put it in the third equation, substituting in 3, because I've numbered it. 4 times 3 minus 10 is equal to y. 12 minus 10 is equal to y. So 12 minus 10 will be 2 is equal to y, and that's my answer. 3, 2. You can write it like this or like that, doesn't matter. Or you can write both of these. Make sense? Okay. Solving with elimination. Now we need to eliminate, add or subtract, right? To do this, we'll have to multiply our second equation, or you can also multiply your first equation by 4, or you can multiply your second one by 3. So I'll get 12x, because 4 times 3 is 12x, minus 3y is equal to 30. And just bring my first equation, x plus 3y is equal to 9. Add them because minus 3y plus 3y is 0, right? 12x plus x is 13x. 30 plus 9 is 39. Divide both sides by 13, and I get x is equal to 3. Now do the same thing that I did over here. Substitute it in one of the equations. Let's take the first one in this case. So 3 plus 3y is equal to 9. Subtract 3 on both sides. I get 3y is equal to 9 minus 3, which is 6. Divide 3 on both sides, and you get y is equal to 2. Okay, so your answer again is 3, 2. Both ways you should get the same answer. So when you get these equations, first thing you ask yourself, do I want to use substitution or do I want to use elimination? Then you just put in the value. You either sub in the value, so that's your first step, sub in the values, or multiply to have equal x or y values. Then you solve to find your x. Once you have your x value, solved everything, you plug it in one of the equations. So subbing is your third step, and then you find the y value. Okay, so 3 steps. Okay, let's move on. When you're given linear and quadratic systems, things get a little bit tricky. You can solve using substitution and elimination again. Again, you isolate your y in the equation. You eliminate your y in your equation. You line up the like terms, and you solve using addition or subtraction. Find the value of y, substitute it, find the value of x. Where you can verify either using a graphing calculator or left side is equal to right side, how we did in the questions today. Okay, for substitution, you isolate your y, you substitute your y into one of the equation, solve for x, and then substitute values back into an equation, and then solve for y. Verify using graphing calculator or left side is equal to right side. Same steps. So let's do the first question using substitution. Because I want to sub in my y value, I'm going to do the same thing. Add y on both sides, subtract 10 on both sides. Y minus y is 0, 10 minus 10 is 0. So I'm left with 5x minus 10 is equal to y. I'm going to sub my y value into this equation. So I have x squared plus x minus 2 times 5x minus 10 is equal to 0. Okay? Now I want to distribute it so that I can expand and look at my like terms. It'll be x squared plus x minus 10x plus 20 is equal to 0. X minus 10x is x squared minus 9x plus 20 is equal to 0. Now, I have a quadratic equation and I want to find my x value. What will I do to find my x value using algebra? Quadratic equation stuff. Quadratic formula or factor. We did 4 ways, right? Graphing calculator, because we have to show it using algebra. We can't use our graphing calculator, but we can use it to verify. What's the 4th step you can do? Convert it into vertex form, right? And then solve it. So the easiest one would be product sum factor. Let's try that. Product is 20. Sum is negative 9. What can my factors be?
5 and 4, or negative 5 and negative 4?
Negative 5 and negative 4. Because my coefficient of x is 1, I can just do x minus 5 times x minus 4. If it wasn't, you would have to split this term, right? So x will be equal to 5 and 4. Now, because we have 2 values of x, we'll have 2 values of y. That means we'll have to substitute this. We can substitute it in this equation. So substitute x in 1. So we have 5x minus 10 is equal to y is our 1. Replace x with 5. So I get 5 times 5 is 25 minus 10, which is 15 is equal to y. So my answer would be 5, 15. For the second one, 4 is our x value. So 5 times 4 minus 10 is your y. 5 times 4 is 20 minus 10. So 20 minus 10 is 10, y. So my answer would be 4, 10. Okay. how many times will you have to verify if this answer is correct or not? You have two values and you have two equations. 4 times. Good. So verify it 4 times, or how else can you verify? Graphing calculator, which will take less time, right? But in the written response section, if they're asking you to verify, you'll have to verify using algebra. Okay? Do you guys want me to show you how you would verify, or like what I'm talking about by 4 times? Okay, it's just putting these values in both of these equations, same thing for here, and then your left side is equal to right side. Okay? Good? Should we move to elimination? Questions? Okay. For elimination, you want to always eliminate your y variable. Why?
Do you hear the graph? No.
Because if you eliminate your x, the like term for x is only this. You won't be able to eliminate x completely, right? You'll still have x squared. So you won't technically eliminate anything. That's why we eliminate y, or anything that's not squared. So to eliminate y, I'll have to multiply this equation by 2. So I get 10x minus 2y is equal to 20. So write that down, 10x minus 2y is equal to 20. Line up your like variables. So x squared plus x minus 2y is equal to 0. Will I add these two equations or will I subtract them? Subtract. So negative sign switches, negative, negative, positive. So now you have negative 2y plus 2y, which is 0, right? They cancel. And then you have negative x squared. 10x minus x is
9x.
Positive 9x is equal to 20 minus 0 is 20. So you have negative x squared plus 9x is equal to 20. What should I do now? No Chromebooks. Okay. What should I do to solve for x?
Unfactor it or whatever, like take the x squared out?
I'll have to factor it, but is it in the standard form right now? No. So I'll have to move things around. Because my x is negative, I'm just going to move it to the other side and make it positive. So plus x squared on both sides, negative 9x on both sides. So 0 is equal to x squared minus 9x plus 20. So you see how we got the same equation over here? This is equal to this, right? So everything else is the same. You do product sum factor, you solve this, and you get your answer. The reason why it's same for this is because our question is the same, right? Both our equations are the same. Yes, it's just to show you that two equations can be solved using both substitution and elimination. Any questions about this? Always eliminate y, always isolate y, okay? Or whatever doesn't have a square on it. So, let's do this. And I'll post the homework questions on Google Classroom as well. I want you guys to do the first two questions with elimination and substitution each.
Like pick one for either one? Or?
Yes.